What is happening, everyone, and welcome back to Tenkenh. The news cycle is absolutely relentless, isn't it? Every single day, something huge drops, and if you're not plugged in, you're missing out. Well, you've come to the right place because we're here to break down the biggest stories that you absolutely cannot afford to miss. We've got a massive episode lined up for you today, packed with updates that are shaking up the gaming world and beyond. Get ready because we're diving headfirst into the most talked about events and releases. You won't want to miss a second of this. Let's get right into it. First up, a game release that has sent shockwaves across multiple platforms, causing widespread technical disruptions and leaving players scrambling. We're talking about a situation so chaotic, it brought major online services to their knees. You'll want to hear the full story on this one. Then, we're shifting gears to look at some incredible sales figures that are making waves, suggesting a massive success for a title that's finding a huge new audience. This is a story that could redefine how we see cross-platform releases. After that, we're going back to the gaming world for another major release that's dominating headlines, not just for its popularity, but for the sheer scale of its impact on online infrastructure. It seems anticipation levels were off the charts. And finally, we're getting an inside look at the strategic decisions behind a major game launch, with a developer revealing the unique challenges of designing for a subscription service and the surprising behaviors of players. It's a fascinating peek behind the curtain of game development. Stick around because you need to know all of this. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Let's go. Platform Meltdown, the game that broke the internet. The digital world experienced unprecedented chaos with the launch of a highly anticipated game, leading to widespread server issues and platform outages. This event has sparked significant discussion among gamers and industry observers alike. The sheer volume of players attempting to access the game simultaneously overwhelmed digital storefronts and online services, causing them to grind to a halt. Reports and visual evidence from sources like Eurogamer showcased Steam experiencing severe disruptions, with users facing error messages and an inability to complete purchases or even navigate the platform smoothly. The problem wasn't isolated to PC. Players on Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo Switch also encountered difficulties. The PlayStation Store, for instance, reportedly displayed the game as wishlisted for many, preventing them from adding it to their carts or initiating a purchase. This widespread technical failure highlights the immense demand and anticipation surrounding the title. The experience for many was one of frustration, with error messages like "something went wrong" becoming a common sight. The game's release, intended as a triumphant moment for its developers and fans, instead became a stark illustration of infrastructure limitations under extreme load. The issues extended beyond just purchasing and downloading. Even attempting to process payments via platforms like PayPal on Steam resulted in errors, further compounding the user experience problems. This level of disruption across multiple major gaming platforms is a rare occurrence, underscoring the game's significant cultural footprint and the intense desire of its community to engage with it immediately upon release. The situation left many wondering if the digital infrastructure was truly prepared for such a monumental demand, raising questions about scalability and resilience in the face of massive, concentrated user activity. The game's success, while undeniable in terms of player interest, was initially overshadowed by the technical hurdles that prevented many from even getting started. Online communities and social media platforms were abuzz with players sharing their struggles and humorous takes on the situation, with many expressing a mix of exasperation and understanding, given the game's long-awaited status. But the digital pandemonium is just the beginning of our coverage. Stay tuned as we uncover sales figures that are shattering expectations for another major title. Xbox sales surge, Helldivers 2 shatters expectations. New sales estimates reveal Helldivers 2 has achieved remarkable success on Xbox Series XS, significantly outperforming its initial PlayStation launch in terms of units sold within the first week. Initial sales estimates for Helldivers 2 on Xbox Series XS suggest an extraordinary performance, with the game selling just under 1 million copies within its first 6 days. This figure, provided by Alinea Analytics, indicates a robust demand for the title on Microsoft's platform. Notably, the data suggests that Helldivers 2 sold approximately 926,000 copies on Xbox Series X and S within that 6-day window. This impressive number is particularly striking when compared to its PlayStation 5 debut, where the game sold 633,000 copies in its first 6 days. The Xbox version has thus surpassed the PS5 version's initial sales by nearly 300,000 units. This surge in sales on Xbox is seen as a significant indicator of the growing potential for PlayStation Studios' titles on Microsoft's console. Developers and publishers have been closely monitoring such releases to gauge the viability of bringing more first-party content to the Xbox ecosystem. If these sales figures are accurate and continue to grow, it could pave the way for more PlayStation exclusives to make their way to Xbox in the future. The success can be attributed to a combination of factors, including the game's established popularity, the appeal of its cooperative gameplay, and potentially the pent-up demand from players who had been waiting for its release on Xbox. The timing of the Xbox launch, while occurring later than the PS5 and PC versions, has clearly not hindered its commercial performance. Instead, it suggests that a substantial audience was ready and waiting. This development is a positive sign for cross-platform strategies and could influence future publishing decisions within the industry. The game's ability to resonate so strongly with the Xbox audience, even as a title originally released on another platform, underscores the evolving landscape of console gaming and the increasing willingness of players to engage with content across different ecosystems. The data implies that the Xbox divers have indeed brought desperately needed reinforcements to the fight for Super Earth, in both gameplay and sales terms. Player reactions have been overwhelmingly positive, with many Xbox players expressing excitement about joining the fight for Super Earth and praising the game's community and gameplay experience. But the phenomenal sales are just one part of the story. Next, we revisit the game that caused digital pandemonium, exploring the infrastructure impact of its massive launch. Silksong's Shadow, launch day server gridlock. The highly anticipated release of Hollow Knight. Silksong led to unprecedented online congestion, causing major gaming platforms including Steam, Xbox, and the Nintendo eShop to experience significant downtime and performance issues. In the lead-up to the global launch of Hollow Knight, Silksong, an astonishing number of viewers were glued to streaming platforms, with over 240,000 people simultaneously watching in Twitch chats across thousands of channels. This immense collective anticipation translated into a digital stampede as players rushed to download the game. The sheer volume of concurrent downloads overwhelmed servers, causing Steam to effectively grind to a halt. Many eager players found themselves unable to even begin their download, forced to watch others play while they waited for the platform to stabilize. This situation was mirrored across other major gaming ecosystems. Reports indicated that both the Nintendo eShop and the Xbox Store were also suffering from severe strain. In Microsoft's ecosystem, the store page for Hollow Knight, Silksong reportedly disappeared for a period, adding to the confusion and frustration for players trying to access the game. The game had held the coveted position of the #1 most wanted title on Steam for an extended period, accumulating millions of wishlists worldwide, a testament to the years of anticipation built since its initial announcement. The excitement reached a fever pitch following a new trailer reveal during the Gamescom opening night live showcase, which was swiftly followed by the confirmation of its release date, set for mere weeks later. Developers at Team Cherry had previously revealed that the protagonist, Hornet, had inspired significant design changes throughout the game's development, adding another layer of intrigue for fans. The overwhelming demand on launch day, however, turned what should have been a celebratory moment into a digital bottleneck, testing the limits of online retail and distribution infrastructure. The scale of the viewership on Twitch, exceeding 310,000 concurrent viewers at one point, with over 47,000 players already in-game on Steam, painted a clear picture. Hollow Knight. Silksong was not just a game release. It was a global digital event that pushed online services to their absolute breaking point. Fans across the globe shared their experiences online, with many expressing a mixture of frustration and understanding, highlighting the immense hype that led to this unprecedented digital congestion. While some platforms struggled with overwhelming demand, others faced a different kind of challenge. Next, we explore the unique balancing act of designing games for subscription services, straight from a developer's perspective. Game Pass Dilemma: Indiana Jones dev on player habits. Jens Anderson, design director for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, discusses the hard balance required when developing for Xbox Game Pass, emphasizing the need for strong onboarding due to players' tendency to quickly drop in and out. Developing games for a subscription service like Xbox Game Pass presents a unique set of challenges, as highlighted by Jens Anderson, the design director at Bethesda's Machine Games, in a recent interview. He described the process of creating Indiana Jones and the Great Circle for Game Pass as requiring a hard balance to cater to a diverse player base, including newcomers to the genre, those with limited attention spans, and dedicated players aiming to complete the game. A significant focus was placed on the onboarding experience, the initial moments of the game, to ensure it was exceptionally strong and accessible. Anderson explained that launching on Game Pass means a large number of players might be trying the genre, or even gaming, for the first time. Therefore, making the introduction to the game smooth and engaging was paramount. He further elaborated on the specific behavior of Game Pass subscribers, noting that players often jump in for 5 minutes and they drop out. This observation informed critical design decisions, though developers aim to avoid making too many concessions that would compromise the core game experience. The challenge, he stated, was to create a game that appealed broadly, accommodating those who might only play briefly while still delivering a fulfilling experience for those who intended to see the game through to its conclusion. Anderson acknowledged that while they could have been more concerned about appealing to every type of Game Pass member, the team also remained focused on the grand scheme of things, ensuring the game was a high-quality experience overall. Despite these development considerations, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle has been widely praised, becoming a well-regarded title within the Xbox Game Pass library. The discussion also touches upon the broader implications of the subscription model for game development, including how it influences player engagement and expectations. The developers' insights provide a valuable perspective on the strategic thinking involved in designing games for a service where immediate hook and sustained interest are crucial, especially given the vast library of titles available for players to sample. Players have shared their appreciation for the game's immersive experience and strong narrative, with many defending the first-person perspective and praising the onboarding process as effective. That's a deep dive into the challenges of game design for subscription models. But before we wrap up, we've got a lightning round recap of all today's top stories. And that's a wrap on today's news. We saw Hollow Knight, Silksong's chaotic launch dominate platforms, Helldivers 2 smash Xbox sales estimates, Silksong cause another wave of online disruption, and Indiana Jones dev share insights on Game Pass player behavior. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this update helpful, subscribe for more daily breakdowns, and ring that notification bell so you're always in the loop. For all the latest, follow us on all our social channels. We'll catch you in the next one.